Welcome. Here, every story is not just about history, but about lessons that can inspire you today. And today we talk about one of the most famous, controversial, and fascinating figures of our time, Donald J. Trump. Most people know him as a businessman and the 45th President of the United States. But behind the headlines lies a story of ambition, risk, and reinvention, a journey full of secrets and surprising facts you probably never heard before. So let's dive in. Donald John Trump was born on June 14th, 1946, in Queens, New York City. He was the fourth of five children in a wealthy family. But the Trump story doesn't begin in America. Donald's grandfather, Friedrich Trump, emigrated from Germany in the late 1800s. What many people don't know is that Friedrich made his first fortune during the Klondike Gold Rush, not by digging for gold, but by running restaurants and hotels for miners in Alaska and Canada. That risk-taking spirit became a family tradition. As a boy, Donald was energetic, competitive, and sometimes rebellious. He had an unusual hobby, collecting military medals and pictures of famous generals. Even as a child, he admired symbols of power and leadership. But Donald also had a problem. He often got into fights and ignored rules. At just 13 years old, his parents decided he needed discipline and sent him to the New York Military Academy. There, Donald learned about order, hierarchy, and leadership. Teachers noticed his confidence, sometimes too much, but also his determination to stand out. After finishing high school, Trump studied economics at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Many classmates described him as ambitious, always talking about doing something big. Unlike his father, Fred Trump, who built affordable housing in Brooklyn and Queens, Donald dreamed of luxury skyscrapers in Manhattan. In the 1970s, he finally got his chance. Donald's first big project was the Commodore Hotel near Grand Central Station. At the time, the area was in decline and the building was nearly abandoned. But Trump negotiated a deal with banks in the city, turning the decaying hotel into the Grand Hyatt, New York. It was a bold move for a man in his 20s, and it paid off. Trump's name started to shine across Manhattan. The 1980s were Trump's golden years. He built Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, one of New York's most famous skyscrapers. He bought casinos in Atlantic City, luxury resorts in Florida, and even tried to create his own airline, Trump Shuttle. Few people know that Trump also once tried to buy a professional football team in the United States Football League. The league collapsed, but this showed his hunger to expand beyond real estate. Magazines put him on their covers. He wrote books like The Art of the Deal, presenting himself as the master of success. He wasn't just a businessman anymore. He was a celebrity. For many Americans, Trump symbolized ambition and wealth, but success didn't last forever. By the early 1990s, Trump's empire was drowning in debt. His casinos and hotels weren't making enough money, and he owed billions. The media called him a failed billionaire. Yet, Trump refused to give up. Here's a story most people don't know. Trump personally called banks one by one, sometimes arguing for hours to restructure his loans. Bankers later admitted they were shocked by his persistence. Most businessmen would have walked away, but Trump fought until he got a second chance. This determination kept his empire alive when everyone thought it was over. In the 2000s, Trump reinvented himself once again. In 2004, he became the star of The Apprentice, a reality TV show where young entrepreneurs competed for a job in his company. At first, Trump wasn't excited about the idea, but when he accepted, the show turned him into a pop culture icon. With his famous phrase, "You're fired," millions tuned in every week. The Apprentice didn't just entertain, it rebuilt Trump's public image. His name became associated with wealth, confidence, and power. He expanded his brand to hotels, golf courses, and even clothing lines. Trump had transformed himself from a struggling businessman into a global brand. By 2015, Trump was more than a celebrity. He was ready for politics. Many thought it was a joke when he announced his candidacy for president, but his speeches were bold, simple, and emotional. He promised to make America great again. Crowds grew larger and louder. Trump positioned himself as the outsider who spoke directly to the people. In 2016, against all expectations, Donald Trump won the election and became the 45th President of the United States. His victory shocked the world. Supporters called him a voice for ordinary Americans. Critics warned that he was too divisive. Either way, Trump had changed American politics forever. During his presidency, Trump focused on the economy, immigration, and international trade. Supporters praised his direct style and bold policies. Critics accused him of being reckless and polarizing. But one thing was clear. Trump always remained the center of attention. In 2020, he faced new challenges, a global pandemic and a heated election. He lost to Joe Biden, but even after leaving office, Trump remained one of the most influential figures in American politics. Some believe he may run again. Others think his era is already history. Donald Trump's life is a story of ambition, risk, failure, and comeback. From the son of a New York builder to the President of the United States, his journey shows the power of persistence and reinvention. Love him or hate him, his name is unforgettable. And here's the lesson. Success is not a straight road. You may rise, fall, and rise again. What matters is the will to keep fighting. Trump's story teaches us that ambition can open doors, but it also brings challenges. It reminds us to think big, take risks, and never underestimate the power of reinvention. So what do you think about Donald Trump? Is he a symbol of bold success or a warning about ambition gone too far? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories that teach English through real history.